Operation Nanook-Nunalivut was on the ground in Behchoko, Northwest Territories this year. One of its tasks was securing the Edzo airfield, a key piece of infrastructure, a task they had to do in coordination with the community, who were still using the airfield throughout the operation. This was all happening in brutal cold that challenged the troops and the equipment. The CBC's Meghan spoke to Lieutenant Colonel Bryn Wright during the exercise to learn more.
So, Lieutenant Colonel Bryn, can you tell me where we are right now?
We're in a town about 100 kilometres outside of Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. It's a small community called Edzo.
And what's going on here today?
So I have tactical troops out here securing an airfield. Part of our mission is key infrastructure security as part of projecting our ability to survive and operate in the north.
What goes into securing infrastructure in this kind of climate?
In this kind of climate, staying alive is a big part of it. This is the survivability piece, and that is, it's not the same as protecting something in a warmer area. You have to take the climate into account. You have to keep people warm. They get hypothermic, and that's the key piece there.
And in your preamble describing the kind of situation that we're dealing with in terms of training opportunities, you had mentioned potential saboteurs. So in this climate, when survival is so important, how do you seek people out? How do you train to seek people out who may be on the land evading you while you also need to stay safe?
How do we find the people?
Yeah.
We use technology, but a big part of it is we use our own skills, and that's where we can push people out with patrolling. And that's why we need to practice surviving out here without the infrastructure to support us.
What are some of the challenges? I mean, we've talked about cold weather, and that is the challenge, right? But just in terms of examples, what are some of the challenges that you've encountered?
A really good example is the ability to use technology. So, for example, we did have drones that were available. They're only capable at a certain temperature, and they did have problems in the cold. Same with our equipment. You see behind us the snowmobiles. We tried some different equipment, and when they break pretty quickly in the cold, and you've got to have mechanisms to get out of there once that happens.
Are there any infantry taking part in this where it's their first time, and what's their experience been like, specifically in what is a very frigid day even for us here?
Yes, absolutely. So the first thing is nobody's out here that hasn't had the specific cold weather training for Canada. However, we do have some technical capabilities that they're not trained on. So the junior people aren't necessarily strong in their infantry trade. They have been trained in the cold.
Why is it important to practice a scenario like this and to practice the survivability, I suppose, of this weather in general when it comes to Canada's military?
Well, I think that there's two parts there. There's the training of what you do as infantry soldiers, and that's protecting equipment. And it doesn't matter whether it's here in Edzo, 100 kilometres outside of Yellowknife, or far up north. Security is security. The training in the cold is you crawl, walk, run. So we're crawling, so we've trained the troops. Then we're going to move further north and get better and stronger, and our abilities get better. We have lessons we can learn every time we do these events.
And this is the biggest Operation Nanook that has happened so far. I know there's a series of operations going on, but in terms of the operation that you're running, is there anything new that you're doing this year?
I think the big thing that's new, particularly as a reserve unit, is it's the integration with the regular army, which we normally do, but on this scale, regular army and also local communities, a lot more of that in this one. But the new part is up here in the north. It's really the up here in the north.
And how did you work with the local communities, especially the Behchoko, Ray, Edzo, Clichon community?
So a perfect example is this airfield, and these are locals that take the flights. This is an active airfield that takes people up to the communities, into the mines, and so we have to liaise with them. Another good example is the dam sites, the hydroelectric plants. We have to liaise with the public infrastructure facilities, and that kind of thing.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much.